In today's video, we have James English versus Auden Larratt. This match may have become a little bit closer than what we initially thought. Then Zaur Paizulaev's comments after his loss against Yushchenko at the recent AMC tournament. Jerry Cadorette versus Devon Larratt. And finally, is Armwrestling getting one step closer towards the Olympic dream? Let's start. Many of us have believed that this upcoming East versus West Challenger Series super match between James English and Auden Larratt is a complete mismatch. Auden should destroy James English. But after the recent practice pulls that we have seen, I'm not completely sure of that fact. So James English did a full workout, and after that he went on to the table and started defeating Vazgen Sagoyan, who is a former WAF champion. I know he's not in that shape anymore. Even a teenage Australian boy also beat him in a tournament at least once. So the level is not there as of now. But then he was dealing with Mika Sakvalaridze's King's move as well, and that too pretty confidently. And Mika, I would say, can be very close to Auden Larratt's level. But of course, we don't know if Mika came to the table completely exhausted because we didn't see much of his other practice pulls. We saw almost all of the pulls that James did, but not the same about Mika. But this at least shows that James's fingers are solid, his wrist is solid. Initially he said that his wrist was always strong, it never went back, but his fingers were really weak, and that's what he has been working for more than a year constantly. Now his fingers are also solid, that's why he doesn't get top rolled easily. And if James is able to get into his flop press lane or his tricep press lane or even a hook, I think it is going to be all over for Auden. But that's exactly what Auden is training for, to prevent all of these lanes. Obviously, Auden is getting trained by Devon Larratt for this super match, but James has also hired, as per him, Lachlan Adair's coach. So I'm not sure if he was talking about Hermes Gasparini or Yanis Omolins, because he was trained by both. I think he was talking about Yanis. Zaur Paizulaev showed us what I would call a little bit disappointing performance at the recent AMC tournament. The reason why he lost to Yushchenko was mentioned by him on his Instagram page. A few words about the last AMC arm wrestling tournament. Initially, I had no time for AMC to prepare and at first decided not to go. I was healing my injuries, then there was a fast, I don't know what that means, which I stated more than once, and only when I found out that Vitali, Dmitry Silayev, Farid Osmanli and Zaur would not be there, I decided to show up and thought that this is easy money for me. But AMC cannot be an easy pleasure ride, and as a result I somehow got second place. To win, I didn't have enough time to prepare after rehabilitation, and in the fight with Lyashchuk, the judges made me uncomfortable and I couldn't break normally and killed my whole hand in this fight. So he was tired, and that's why he couldn't apply his full power in the final round. And also he kind of underestimated Yushchenko. He thought that he's not going to be the top guy that he needs to deal with. That was also one of the reasons why Zaur lost to him. But the question is Zaur ever going to be fully recovered? Because if I remember correctly, his bicep tear happened after Michael Todd's bicep tear, and Michael has been arm wrestling good since then. I'll not say he's as good as he was in, let's say, 2019, but he's still doing well. And also for Michael, he had to operate his elbow as well, not just the bicep tendon. So the recovery may have been more difficult for Michael. But I still hope, as I have said in the previous videos, that it's my wish that Zaur is somehow not fully healed yet. He can maybe gain even 15% more from this point on, and then he can still be a problem for almost everyone in this world. As a Zaur fan, I would love to see that. Jerry Cadorette is big and strong. Right now he's weighing around 330 pounds, and there was a conversation that kind of naturally and organically transferred into a Devon Larratt and Jerry Cadorette match. Jerry said that he can take on Devon Larratt. He can actually take him out if given the opportunity. When asked by Engin about Devon Larratt whether he would come back in the super heavyweight division or not, this is what Jerry had to say. He likes to stay in a class where he has a shot to win. I wouldn't think he would want to come back in the supers. I think he wants to dominate the class below. So there is still a possibility how this Jerry versus Devon match can happen, and Jerry is so keen for that match that he's willing to cancel the Alex Cordecha match as well. When asked by Engin, Jerry said that yes, he believes he can beat him, but Devon is too scared to accept the match. I know 90% of the population is going to think the other way, but that's okay. I don't give a shit. I love what he's doing for the sport, but this needs to happen. Jerry also confirmed that Devon's mind games doesn't affect him at all. So the situation how this match can happen, and maybe if the fans want it, they can also literally almost try to force it to happen. So the situation is the Alex versus Jerry match will be cancelled, and Alex will be getting a rematch, a revenge opportunity against Dave Chaffee. That match is feasible for the Orlando, Florida, August 10 East vs West 14 event. On the same event, Jerry versus Devon happens. And the situation, the prerequisite for this is that Jerry has to convince Devon. Engin is not going to ask Devon for this match because he respects Devon's decision, because he wants to take some rest. He doesn't want to come back to the super heavyweight division. And in this current shape, when Devon is about 110 kilos, if he agrees to this match and shows up at a similar weight, I think it's going to be a bad day for him. I know I'm also one of those 10% people that Jerry was talking about. I really do believe that Jerry still has a shot of defeating even this strongest version of Devon Larratt. Because from what I have seen, almost all of the gains that Devon made in these last 3 years came into his hand and pronation. Guess what? His hand and pronation is not going to matter against Jerry at all. He would still have to get into that old style 2018 hook war against Jerry to beat him. And that's where I believe Devon is not necessarily that much stronger than 2018. So please mention in the comments, would you like to see this match happen? Are you okay with the changes required for making this happen? And who is going to win this match? And finally, Engin Terzi created a post about Asian Paralympic Committee's post. With the Asian Paralympic Committee's decision, WAF will represent arm wrestling in 2025 Asian and Youth Para Games. Looks like Para Arm Wrestling will make Para Olympics and will become a door for senior arm wrestling. Back in 2022, when I used to talk with the Indian Arm Wrestling Federation officials who are in some shape or form involved in all of this, they used to tell me so confidently that it is already included in the 2028 Para Olympics. I hope that was true, and I hope we are going to see that. That definitely looks like a step in that direction for sure. So 2025 Asian Youth Para Games are going to happen in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. But just read these words, man. First of all, it's not seniors, it's youth, then it's not even regular competition, it's Para Games, then it is not even world competition, it's just Asian Games. So it's a very, very small step. Clearly, the Olympic Committee is being very careful with the inclusion of arm wrestling. They want to test it at their lowest possible level, and this is where we need to perform well. This is where we need to shine and talk about this. Even Olympics in these days, I've heard, is mainly about the popularization of the games. They want the numbers. It's not like it used to be more than 20 years ago. So it's our job to make this event successful and popular. So you can see the screenshot and you can read the whole post if you want. That's all I have for you in today's video. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.